Welcome to Orange County Power Players, where we spotlight the personal, professional, and financial success stories of OC's top leaders. Here's your host, Danny Flores.
Welcome back to OC Power Players, where I interview some of the most successful people in Orange County. I'm Danny Flores, your host, and today's honored guest is Tristan McKee, zooming in from Newport Beach. He is the founder and CEO of Get It Right Solutions. At Get It Right Solutions, they are committed to addressing all your IT needs, whether it's crafting and establishing your computer network or tending to repair and maintenance of your server, computer, or laptop. They've got your back with over 15 years of dedicated service to a diverse range of industries. Their greatest achievement is cultivating content and lifelong customer relationships. Their mission is to deliver top-tier, cost-effective IT services tailored to their customer-specific requirements. They adeptly oversee and bolster their suite of IT solutions using state-of-the-art technology. With unwavering commitment to quality and reliability, they transform technology into a valuable asset for their clients through customized, one-of-a-kind solutions. Welcome, Tristan.
Thank you very much. Quite an intro.
It's quite interesting what you do, and I think it's a very much needed service nowadays. Now, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into this and how you made the transition to opening up your firm.
All right. Well, it's kind of a funny story. Getting into IT and technology was something I tried to avoid probably most of my life. My dad was into technology, and my uncle was a coder, back in the day, did some government contracting work, and I just didn't really want to go down that road.
Mm-hmm.
I was really into like making music and recording and making beats and stuff. And fast forward to, I don't know, 2006, I think, my computer broke. My recording studio. It had all the music and projects I was working on, and I didn't really have a lot of money, and I couldn't afford to pay somebody to fix it. So I just said, all right, screw it. I'm going to go to college. That was the single decision that said it's time to go to college. And I learned how to fix computers in college, and I was just basically doing a 1 year like boot camp, Microsoft boot camp. And
Right.
I just started getting really good at it. I was recruited out of college by several companies. One of which I decided to take. It was called Peak 10 Data Center Solutions.
Mm-hmm.
And they are a firm now. It's called Flexential. They serve, I think, 77 data centers across the country, or they
Wow.
own them. They own and operate them. Some of
Right.
their customers are like Target, Domino's, Churchill Downs, like really big players.
Mm-hmm.
And then after 5 years there, I really wasn't getting the hands-on experience to complement the book smarts that I was getting in college.
Right.
And that whole time I'm still in college. I finally finished with a bachelor's degree in systems infrastructure and all that good stuff. And I didn't like the big business MSP. I was not getting what I needed.
Mm-hmm.
So after a few years of that, I moved out to California and started working at small business managed service providers. And that's when things really clicked for me.
Okay.
Fast forward to the time I actually said, I want to have my own business. I was making a really good salary, but I was still not fulfilled. Wasn't happy. I was working too much, missing my kid, her youth. And I just one day said, I'm done. I'm going to start my own thing. And here we are 8 years later. That's where it's
Wow.
at.
Wow.
9 years, 2017. Yeah,
Wow, that's quite a journey. But each step that you took was a building block to get you to where you're at today
absolutely.
without even knowing it, right?
Yeah,
Because who
that's
would
the
have
beauty of the
known?
journeys.
Yeah, who would have known that having that job wasn't fulfilling for you?
Yeah.
Perhaps if it would have, we wouldn't even be sitting here today.
Nope. I'd still be stuck in an office banging
Yeah,
out code and networking stuff. So
right. So now you decide to go on your own. And so there's two things that have to happen, right? You sit on a desk and you say, okay, I have my business. Okay, that's great. But where's your customers? How'd you
Yeah.
go out and pursue? Because now it's you have to start out as a one-man show. Any business starts out that way, right? You got to
Yes.
wear the sales hat. You have to be the guy who does the work and the servicing, and then you have to be the accounts payable and the bookkeeper, and you got to bill, and you got all kinds of things going on. You got to do them all.
Yeah.
How did that happen? You start out going out and getting clients, selling your services and building it up. Now you got to start hiring. I mean, this is like really good stuff for anybody who's listening, because anybody who thinks that they're just going to start a business, it doesn't happen just like that. There's
Yeah.
growing pains that you go through, right? So
And a whole
yeah, so
transition. If you succeed and you go for,
yeah,
8, 8, 9 years, like you will continue to change and evolve throughout the entire process.
right.
Um, but yeah, to get started, I've always had a bit more courage than brains.
Yeah.
So, I didn't have any real plan. I had a commitment and persistence.
Hmm.
Have been my most valuable things in life. Like once I commit to something, I don't give up.
Right.
And if you're going to try and start a business, like you cannot give up because the world will try to make you stop.
Yeah.
I think a week after I started my business, like I quit my job on a Friday, went to the county clerk on Monday, got the business license, da 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 da, just going through the
Right.
formalities.
Right.
Uh, a week into that, I got rear-ended on the 55, and my car was like literally $200 away from being totaled.
Oh,
Right. And so
yeah.
just quitting a job, you're not going to go out and be able to finance another car. Like I needed that car to last me another, 5, 6 years.
Right.
Luckily, I had good insurance, I had credit cards, and the car was not totaled. So I had the rental and I kept going. And my first customer, who is still my largest customer, and they're on contract, was just a referral. Hey, a guy that used to work for me calls and says, "Hey, are you still consulting?" And I was
Hmm.
just like, yeah, as chance would have it, I am still consulting. And
Yeah.
so I picked them up. They were big enough to sustain me through the first like year, 2 years.
Yeah.
And I had gotten them really dolled up. I did a really good job of turning their business around.
Hmm.
And so much so that people just talked about it and I got referrals. And still to this day, every single customer I've gotten has been a referral from other customers who have just been really impressed with, you know, the turnaround in their business.
Wow. No, that is key, right? The hardest thing is to get the customer, but then we have to over deliver and keep the customer. And
Yeah,
then if you do a good job, I mean, referral is the best way to grow, because if I'm telling my friend, go to Tristan and they take really good care of you in the computers, they're going to trust me more than they trust you, right?
yeah,
Because they don't know you, but they know me, and I'm making the introduction. That's more powerful than anything else.
yeah. These types of services are really hard to sell, like at a like advertise, go out and have a sales guy. It's really like even in our industry, we don't have sales guys. We have account like managers,
Right.
relationship managers, because we really do get involved with every detail of the business's life, and in some cases, the owner's life. And that's just not a relationship that you want to get out of like out of a cold
Right.
call.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because look at it, and correct me if I'm wrong, everybody uses IT services,
Yeah,
right?
in some form.
Yeah. So if you're calling somebody, it's like, yeah, I don't need you. I'm good. Now, is it safe to say that the referrals have been people that have been unhappy with the current IT service that they've been getting?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Most of them have had a previous firm that they felt wasn't getting it done the way they needed to. And, you know, uh, those are not fun things to do where you go in and take somebody else's clientele. But at the same time, if they're not delivering the service that
Right.
is required, the business has to run regardless of who's managing the
Right,
IT.
right,
Yeah.
right. I mean, it's your job. That's your job. That's to
Yeah.
grow your business, and in order to grow your business, you're going to take it from somebody else. That's just. kind of life, right? Kind of
It
life the way
is.
it goes.
It
So now
is.
what are some of the complaints that people have when they decide to make a switch? Because making a switch is not an easy thing to do either. Deciding is easy, but making it is hard because you have to change the passwords, you have to download your agents into the new machines, you got to remove the other agents, and I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. I guess you have to build the infrastructure on your back end so you understand what everything is and make sure everything is covered. So tell us a little bit about what the complaints are and what you do to get in there and improve the service.
Well, so the typical complaint for when I'm like, if it's me going up against another IT firm that is not doing it, like downtime is the biggest complaint. Like things not working, the computer freezing, the programs, not working right or whatever, or the customer or the IT guy's not doing his maintenance. Like that's the thing that most people don't understand about IT is it's gotten to a level where like traditional help desk services where like, oh, my printer doesn't work, oh, I need that, like that is a thing of the past. We are so good at proactively preventing things by following certain practices that my phone should never ring. And if it doesn't ring, then product's working because you're
Mhm.
making money. You're out there doing what is important to your business,
Right,
right?
right. Yeah,
So the complaints that I get are just that. Like I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this. And over a period of 3 to 6 months after I'm the person they decide to go with, you really get to see the transition of the call reduction, of
hmm,
their profit margin going up, of their ability to just function as a stabilized business. That's actually one of my favorite things to see is the companies turn around.
right.
So yeah.
Now, how many, I guess they're called engineers, do you have getting into the machines and kind of taking care of everything so that there's no issues? And I would also probably, is it safe to assume that no matter how well you do that, there's always going to be something that comes up too that somebody has to make a call. Maybe not every day, but maybe every once in a while there's a glitch somewhere.
Yeah, everything there nothing's 100%, right?
Right.
I mean, if you can if you can make it, you can break it.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's
Uh
everything then.
it's usually a human error or something, like the biggest challenge I have are laptops.
Hmm.
People that take laptops home from the office, they never leave them on overnight, and that's when we prefer to do our automated maintenances because that
Right,
naturally you don't want to take someone out of commission for 2 hours while you're doing work on their computer.
right,
Um, so that's just kind of factored into the agreement. We basically do we usually do a 1 year term to get started. We do have some
right,
month to month terms, but it's like everything that they would need is included in one fixed price per user or device.
right.
And it yeah, lost my train of thought there. It it gets a lot better as far as complaints go. There's no real need to have too much oversight. We here on our end of it are aggressively trying to prevent them from having issues because it's
Hmm.
financially in our best interest to make sure that's the case.
Right, right.
Right. So we have processes outlined, standard operating procedures. The way that we do things is all standardized. So we can run a really lean shop. Like I have room for two techs. I just actually lost one. So we're looking to fill that position. But at the end of the day, if I really had to, I could probably run most of it myself with very limited engineering effort. I just like having people on staff because it's better for phone calls,
Right, right.
because if everybody calls at the same time, I can't answer every single call.
That is true. That is true. So now let's just say there's somebody's putting together a new business and maybe they're bringing in two or three people together. So it might be like a small network. They don't have an IT provider. Which questions should they be asking and what should they be aware as far as where they're going to store all their files, the cloud, which clouds are you going to use? How is their information going to be backed up with redundancy, and then
Right.
and then how's everything going to be protected as far as for intrusions? So firewalls. Do you use software firewalls? Do you use hardware firewalls? What does that look like for somebody who doesn't know anything and how to start? What would your I guess expertise guide them to?
Yeah. So right out of the gate, our ideal client is going to have 15 to I'd say 75 employees.
Mm-hmm.
So typically they're going to have a small office of some kind. And so given that use case, that scenario, yes,
Right.
you're going to want a enterprise grade firewall. Doesn't have to be like the top most expensive version from the vendor because they do
Mm.
make smaller catered versions for
Right.
type of business, but you're going
Right.
to want an enterprise firewall. Then you're going to want to ask yourself, um, how long can I go without my data? What is that number? 4 hours, 24 hours, a week? Like, because you really want to know what your recovery time looks like, because it's not a matter of if you're going to get a problem, it's when,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to plan accordingly to be able to recover from that. Now, I have customers that have never gone down, and I have customers that have gone down, and that question was answered right out of the gate. Most of them are okay with a 4 hour recovery time,
Right.
uh, with 30 days of backups retained. It's
Mm-hmm.
encrypted. Um, and then for any businesses, you want to ask yourself, are you in a compliance industry? Like, what are the regulations that you need to meet in
Mm-hmm.
order to kind of steer the conversation in the right direction for what you should get?
Right.
And then for security, the thing with security is no matter what you do, you want that next gen firewall. You want a robust security agent on each device that will do mitigation, ransomware prevention, and anything else new that they throw at us. It seems like every day they're
Right.
they're finding a new vulnerability. So we try to balance it the best we can because we understand our customers aren't Fortune 500 companies,
Right.
but there's still some things that you just have to have in order to protect your business.
Right.
And again,
Right.
I go back to the question, like, how much without can you go without?
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what each person needs to ask themselves. Like, what can I
Right.
go without as far as like my data? How long can I operate my business without actually taking in new calls or having access to my computer or my data?
Right. Right. Now, what's your take? I hear people like Teams. I hear people don't like Teams. Um, what's the best source? And like, I guess we're talking about smaller businesses, not Fortune 500s or Fortune
Right.
100s. In the smaller business world, what do you think the best setup is in your opinion?
You caught me in a transitional period in my development here for that. Right now, the 500-pound gorilla is Microsoft 365.
Mm-hmm.
They make it so appealing from a financial perspective and a reliability perspective and an ease of use perspective
Mm-hmm.
that it's really challenging to not use that. Unfortunately, we've seen over the last couple of years several major incidences like an Exchange server vulnerability, a massive change in their so they changed their backend domains, which is the URL that you use to go to their services. They
Right.
changed that about 6 months ago, and just about every customer I had couldn't get email for almost what 24 to 36 hours,
Wow.
right? And that affected everybody in Microsoft, which was a significant share of the market. And it
Right.
opened everyone's eyes to like, whoa, whoa, dude, whoa. You mean if they have a problem at all, almost the entire economy comes to a grinding halt
Mm-hmm.
when it, with that. So outside of those exposures that are recent, Microsoft 365 and Teams are still the best bang for your buck. But I think
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be a quick resurgence here over the next few years to people re-exploring the smaller IT shop hosting, you know, IMAP email servers like cPanel or like HostGator. Some of the smaller firms that offer email services that aren't Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
we may see a resurgence, or there might even be people that want to get their own mail server again that's just not in the Microsoft cloud, and have a strategic backup that, with a 4-hour recovery window is acceptable. I
Yeah, that's
mean,
interesting because that's the old school, right? We
yeah,
had the email servers in house, we had the file servers in house, even possibly web servers in house, and all of that's gone now. But
right,
the reliability, like you said, how much money will it cost you being down per hour
right,
per employee, right? If you
right.
have 200 employees down, that's big bucks right there
It is. It is.
in
Um,
productivity.
So thankfully, like I said, most of our customer base, our target, we don't really want to go over 100 employees, because at that point the companies would be looking more for like a hybrid IT department. So they have a guy in-house, maybe contracts with a larger firm like Method Technologies in Cyprus, which is where I came from.
Right.
They do a lot of hybrid IT with bigger companies, but for the MSB market, most MSPs are going to stay at 100 employees or less, and those
Hmm.
conversations are more apt to being well received, with relation to downtime. A
Hmm.
4-hour window for somebody that's got 75 users, that seems to be an acceptable loss, given the fact that the likelihood that you're going to have that 4-hour downtime, I can minimize it down to almost like 98% never happening. It would be a real world oh crap factor that would cause something like that.
Right.
Um, so yeah, you do spend a little bit of money up front with our services, and I won't sugarcoat that at all. It is premium because we do really good work, but
Right.
like, you get value out of it, peace of mind, uptime, reliability, and just the
Hmm.
ability to not have to stress on
Right.
on that. So
Those are like the computer and the network are super important tools, the backbone of any business.
yeah,
So you have to have good tools. It's like going if you're a police officer and you're going to a shootout with a knife. That doesn't work.
yeah,
You got to
or a
have a
squirt gun.
good gun, right? Right. So you have to have good tools in your war chest to be able to continue your productivity.
Absolutely.
And that's important. And so okay, so that's really good to know. Now, as we get ready to wrap up, what are the next 6 to 12 months look like for you? Anything exciting in the horizon?
Well, yeah. So about 2 months ago, I joined a master group of other MSP owners.
Hmm.
We meet once a week to review the industry strategies, efficiencies, things that we can do better. And so this year, I've been building out an actual true to definition sales pipeline system,
Hmm.
so that I can kind of restructure some of my agreements, build that sales pipeline to actually bring on board an account manager to start doing some of the work for me. And
Hmm.
we are still adding new customers. We've added 3 new customers in the last couple weeks. And I'm
Nice.
starting to strategize a lot more heavily on referral based sales, as
Right,
opposed to
right,
just letting them come to me. Like,
right,
I'm engaging my customers and making sure that they're good, seeing if there's any other people that might match well with what we do, and,
right,
and
right,
seeing,
right,
like, just being more engaged and actively going after the right customer, as opposed to
right.
just waiting.
Get your business to grow. No, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good. Now in doing that, I would imagine this master group will also kind of help you strategize how to build your employees and the functionality there.
Yeah.
So that because it's one thing is to go out and get the clients, and as you grow, you have to put the people in place to help you with that growth, right?
Yeah, so it's been really eye-opening. Like, I don't like to toot my own horn very often, but I am a pretty smart guy. And working alone for the last 8 years, or just, one or two techs, like, it's challenging to know that you're still relevant in the industry. And so having that group there, like, not only did it reassure me that I'm like right on point, but it also opened my eyes to some things that I still could build out better.
Mm-hmm. Right,
Some calculations, having a corporate values in place, so that
right,
the people that I bring on board, they align with what we're doing here.
right,
And
right,
it does live in my head, but if I don't have it written down,
We can't read your mind, right?
exactly. So there's always room. I'm learning things to keep growing. Like I said early on when we first started,
Yeah.
it's an ever evolving mechanism. You're never going to stop growing. You're never going to stop adapting. And I'm just in for the ride. This is amazing.
Having fun.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Tristan, you've shared a lot, and the service that you've talked about is very much needed, even on a personal level. If somebody's listening to us and wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Well, we have a website. You can Google us. We're on Google Business. You can call us. But if you just want to fire off an email to me and see what's what, you can email solutions@getitrightit.com. Or again, we have a form on the website. You can always submit a form at www.getitrightit.com.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Well, Tristan, thank you so much for coming on the show. And to our audience, please go to OC Power Players and ocpowerplayers.com and follow us on your favorite channel. Thank you, Tristan.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Orange County Power Players. Want to share your success story? Apply to be a guest at ocpowerplayers.com/guest.